They'll be calling you a radical. A few things to clear up. Number one, I know everybody out there thinks I've lost my mind my last couple weeks of my videos. They think I've snapped and I've gone crazy. I haven't. First off, the exit one I did where I laid that over my head and clicked, I want to explain that. That's an artist from 1926. A video artist in 1982 found her. And I want to clear this up before I go on my rant, and I'm going on a rant. Which I never saw it till my last trip to the MoMA in New York City, and it really turned me on. This woman artist in 1926 in her studio, which her studio looked just like mine. She had all kinds of stuff, metaphors all over, symbolism everywhere, art. It was really great. She would put up her coat over the top of her head and reach objects. I mean, and an artist in 1982, you got to realize the video genre in 1982, how powerful it was. You watch the MTV videos, which so many of them are so powerful and so amazing. That movie should have never stopped. Incredible pieces of art. You can see Warhol's thumbprints all over them. You know, Andy, why are you making these movies? A lot easier than painting. That's the only thing I think he ever said that he really meant. The rest was all sarcasm. The obey sheeple complex. I have not lost my mind. Those gigs I did in San Francisco are a thumbprint of culture. As far as Apple goes, I went back to work. What do? I trade derivatives. That's what I've done my whole life. Very excited to be back to work. And you people that say, oh, you know, I had somebody come to me about pussy riot, and oh, they're funny. Number one, I want to explain this. I'm still a big fan of Pussy Riot, and I'll tell you why. Because I'm about people that get results. Remember this, when Nadi was in prison, she got the workload reduced in the complex from 16 hours to 8 for the women. That's a major deal. You know, yeah, they're with Congress, they probably meant co-op, yeah. But she got results, and as an activist, what, really? Funding? Well, you think you could be an activist without funding. It blows my mind. I've done it without funding, very, very little. But the reality, you guys all get paid when you go to work, but activists aren't supposed to get paid. Number one, I would love to do it all for free. That equation's impossible. We have to eat. We have to have funding. So this idealism somehow, oh, they got funding. No shit. Where the fuck's your funding? I love all these assholes that go off on that. Half of them work for the fucking government. We hate the government, we work for the government. Fucking mooches. Yeah, us as activists. So I've built the first hedge fund, socially responsible. I want to talk about my Apple gig. Now look, I started doing videos about Apple a long time ago because Ackerman, I remember when I first met him, come to me, he said, I don't understand the Apple gig. Because Apple, I knew clear back then, long before Fukushima. I've been writing the derivative market in the Apple since $45 a share. I knew that it is the thumbprint of America. Now think about this, they're going to split 7 for 1. So there'll be 1 share for every person on Earth. They're the biggest company on Earth by none. Now remember this for a lot of the things, because Fukushima is the great equalizer. It's a great equalizer. Socioeconomic status. Steve Jobs is such a perfect example. All your money can another minute buy. One of my doctors was one of his doctors. He thought his money, it didn't save him. He was vegan. He did everything right. He died. That's my point. You can hate him, you can love him, you know, whatever. Brilliant? Oh, fuck yeah. Controlling the world even from the grave? Oh, yeah, but it's us who give them that dynamic. That's my point. As Ross Perot said, the tariffs, red or blue, you feed into that dogma. We're the tariff country, no tariffs. So by definition, people say, oh, the market's going to melt down, up 200% in the last 5 years. The greatest returns in history. Why? Because it's the perfect storm. Look, it's like this. You hear it every CNBC, Bloomberg. By the way, I got a call out on Bloomberg, by the way. This guy says it's nuclear, not nuclear. No, it's not. It's nuclear. It's not nuclear. That's how you've been co-op. It's not nuclear. It's nuclear. Nuclear, like guys, it's not nuclear. That's another word co-op they played on you sheeple dumb fuckers. They'll sit on those desks and say, oh, why wouldn't they pay their taxes here in the United States? Why wouldn't they park it off? The tax rate's so high. That's the problem with America right there. Cheat America because they're looting America. They make all their money off America. They use our universities for their they use our roads, they use everything. Yet, as soon as they got their profits, no, that's the problem with America. And I want to go off on this UN report, on this rant. Them fuckers. Those evil fuckers. And you think I'm over the top? You think about them over the top. First, number one, let's talk about the young, beautiful Russian, well, she's English, but she was born in Russia, has liver cancer. We all need to pray for her, and it's come to her aid. This is how Chernobyl works. There was a young girl who died in my bone marrow transplant center with me from Chernobyl. Chernobyl kills over 100,000 young women a year. This is exactly how it works. So when the UN says this, Fukushima, this is how it's going to play out by tens of thousands of times. As Chernobyl is evil. Chernobyl's killed over 40 million people. And I want to talk about my work with Femen. I'm not talking about you need to take your clothes off to be in it. No. I'm just commentary on what they accomplished. Has nothing to do with your dogma. You want to spill everything into your dogma. I'm talking about the fact that Femen went into Chernobyl, took their shirts off, held up signs that said killed by peaceful nuclear, and brought the attention to Europe. They're very much responsible for the anti-nuclear movement in Germany, in Switzerland, in so many parts of the world. What they did was powerful. I'm not saying do that. I'm just saying, I'm commenting on what they did do. I'm about show me activism. So the young Russian, she lived in Kiev, she lived in Chernobyl when she was young. This is an incredible athlete. That doesn't matter how good a shape you're in. It's in her liver. And just get a liver transplant. Oh no, this is a big deal. It's scary shit. This girl's in the fight of her fucking life. And this is how it works, and we need to hammer it. Now, I was really discouraged. I've been really discouraged, and this young woman in Scotland, somebody sent the video, and you've got to watch this video. It gave me so much hope. And said, this thing is brilliant, it is beautiful, it is genius. I mean genius. For the UN to come out and say it is not kill, it's a blatant in-your-face fucking lie. We know factually the cancer rates across North America has spiked dramatically. Our bone marrow transplant is overflowing. They only take on the hardcore of the hardcore. The hardcore cases. They're overflowing. That's a good metaphor, isn't it? That's my point. I have not lost my mind. My intensity, my focus, I am squarely focused on this. My hedge fund's going to be socially responsible and try to raise some money so I can go forward with the Post-Ignorance Project. Lonnie Clark and I put this together, and I'm going to do this. Apple's splitting 7 for 1. 1 share for every one of you slaves. How can they not make money? We do not enforce antitrust laws, so they get it all to themselves, just gobble it up. Free market fairy tales. We do not put a tariff on the poor. Steve Chinese jobs. Barack Obama calls him, President Obama calls him into that right after he's elected. Steve, what about bringing the jobs back to the United States, making the iPhone here, which would only cost $4 more a share? Are you kidding, Barack? They've left and they're never coming back. Well, I got news for you. The only thing never coming back is Steve Chinese jobs and the rest of us when we all die of cancer. So it's the perfect storm for them. There's no competition. They just gobble them up and eat them up because we don't enforce antitrust laws. We don't have usury laws. Feudal system, the biggest freaking rapers and robbers win. And we have an idealistic idealism that we do not want to give back to society. We loot and rob, all of us, everyone. That's you baby boomers mentality. Oh, I ain't paying no fucking taxes. I ain't fucking doing nothing. Well, fuck that. Yet this fucking great America that our parents handed us gave you all these opportunities, and they have looted America by default. How can they not? They don't pay any fucking taxes here, and all these CNBC and Bluebirds are sitting there. Why would they? Yeah, that's because that's how they think. But they think they're on the winning team. There's 2 Americas. The participation rate in the CPI and the PPI are a fucking lie. Number 1, the participation rate is the lowest from 1978 in the unemployment number. For the opposite reason in 1978. We had the greatest middle class in human history, peaked out in 1978 via usury laws, via antitrust laws, via protectionism policies, via a fair tax rate that the more money you made, of course you're going to pay a little more taxes, but we don't need higher taxes, we need tariffs at the port. You can't compete with slaves. The usury economy, Bill Walmart Clinton, and go over across. Ross Perot said, you don't do this, you sign out, you're going to hear a giant whoosh. Now you empower it, they don't pay taxes, they have slaves. Do you not understand they use slaves and you all participate? I stood in that cage with the Tiananmen Square activists, probably one of my best pieces of activism. I've been all over, wore freaking holes in my shoes, blisters on my, in the cage. They don't let anybody in that cage. That is the real Tiananmen Square people I'm in that cage with. In Times Square, drinking beet juice, and people come by, I pretend it was blood and say, hey, you on your iPhone, how do you like drinking the blood of Chinese slaves? And I want to call out my friend in LA. He said, thank you for calling out the Armenian genocide. As Obama said, he was going to start calling it the genocide. That's 100 years ago going on. The lies. If you believe that Nazis invented genocide, you know nothing about the American West. Well, Stegner, my mentor, but you know nothing about the Armenians. By the way, Gorky was one of those. He walked across, he was about a 7-footer. I have not lost my mind. I am intense, I'm passionate, because I want to win this fight. I want to take down the nuclear cartel, and I'm going to raise money. This ideal that, oh, fuck, Pussy Riot has funding from this, or somebody, are you fucking kidding me? Even if I wanted to do this for fucking free, that's an impossible equation. I have to eat. You know, well, do you fuckers work for free? This is over the top, the UN, it's malice, we can't get an attorney, and I plan on suing the Department of Energy, and I'm going to sue Sanjay Gupta, and I'm going to sue CNN, and I'm really going to do it. I'm going to sue the Department of Energy for giving me leukemia before I was born, through my father, and the cover-up of Fukushima. And I'll file the suit by myself in our local court, and it'll get thrown out, and I'm going to raise the money through my hedge fund to appeal it, and I'll get this into the domain. And by the way, I'll be back in San Diego for round 2 of the USS Reagan hearing, which I believe starts July 20th, but I was there for the first, and Christine I. Radchek reported this dramatically, and no one paid attention. There was a Little League football camp on the USS Reagan last August. I reported it live from there. You know, there's a lot of my great videos that people weren't paying attention. I have not lost my mind, and this story with the beautiful young woman, Elena, is very important. We need to talk about her story, because that's how this cancer works. She was in the Ukraine. Chernobyl's killed 40 million people in county. Fukushima will kill many more. And Fukushima factually has killed well over 1 million in North America already. We know factually cancer rates have spiked dramatically post-Fukushima. For the CNN, or for the UN to say this is malice. These are the greatest crimes against humanity ever committed, and the UN's committing them daily. And the black and yellow journalistic horror media that goes along with it, may God have mercy on your soul. That fucker from Forbes, watch out for me, motherfucker. You don't want to run into me, because I'll drop that fucker like a bag of dirt. Stay in tune it.